So hold on. You must cook.
You must clean
You must share location.
and do the laundry
You must have sex.
and look after the child.
He hooks up with other women.
You don't.
You bring him beer and water.
He don't give you shit.
He has temper and puts hands on you.
You are meek and mild.
So a girl who's pregnant with twins via IVF from her 43-year-old partner, and he's now he cheated on her and has and has left her and is calling her, why would I want to have any kids with you? You're fat, you're ugly. My new girl is da da da
We
da.
need her. Because what is going on?
You know, IVF is a whole situation. Like, you go through a lot.
It's not free.
Right.
It's not free.
So
At what point in the process did he decide, actually,
words.
and couldn't he have done it before the first deposit was made?
Word. Because that is a long, strenuous, mentally emotional, mentally fatiguing process.
That is crazy.
For you to run off with the next girl and be saying, I don't even want kids with you. So after the money's been paid.
You couldn't say that before we put the first deposit down.
I
think it's kind of toxic that we're not focusing on the fact that he said all those things about her, but I'm really concerned about the money. I mean, I guess it's worth it because she has twins now.
But what's worth being with a narc, though?
Yeah, but I'm guessing he's left her. It's just it's a shit situation because obviously now she's left raising kids on her own. But I'm assuming if they were going through IVF that they must have been trying for a while.
Can I say, mine and your mentality is so different because you said on your own. I said that person is there stuck to me like a leech for life. Because obviously you share kids now, so it's like you're forever going to be around.
But after him saying that, I'm not sure if he said it like to say, but I'm still going to be around. I think he said it like, that's your problem now.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was him leaving. God help if anyone tries to leave you. Because I don't think you will realise.
I'll show up.
But oh, it's a little argument. It's like, no, they've left
I've made breakfast. What are you doing?
Countries.
I've made breakfast. Where are you?
He's not showing up.
You're abroad. I'll come and join you then.
He's moved to Mexico with his new thing.
Oh, there's a house for us?
No, not for you. In fact, he's stopped paying the mortgage on the house that you're currently living in.
Hi, you've made a mistake. The mortgage isn't being paid, so can you pay that?
The bank is repossessing the house.
What's going on? Why am I here? What happened? Babe, they said he repossessing the house.
He blocks your number. You can't even call him anymore. There must be something wrong.
There's wrong with his phone.
With you have to be very much clear, highlighted, bold.
Yeah.
It can't even be in italics. It has to be Arial bold. Highlighted in red text.
The other day, so I called her. Actually, it's yesterday.
Oh God, what did you do?
So we're trying to get, obviously I'm doing up a house, redoing a house.
Oh, congrats on that, by the way. I do like the paint colour you chose. I know that was you. I know that paint colour was you, but I actually like it.
Thank you.
I really like it.
Oh, so we have a drainage problem.
Mm-hmm.
Where like the rainwater, there's a hole where the rainwater just sits and then kind of floods the front of the door.
Oh, okay.
Right, so issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, issue. So
what did you do?
No. So
you didn't put your hand in it, did you?
No.
Okay.
So early in the week, we called a drain person to come and fix it. He's come, and this is always the case with trades people that I find. More often than not always. Sometimes you find people that just do the job and great. But this person fixed another issue that we didn't know we had, but didn't fix the main issue. So he was like, looked at it, possibly said, can't do nothing about that. Let me check the other manholes, and cleared the flow in the other manholes, even though that wasn't really a problem that we knew we had. So obviously we had to pay him because you did clear something, but it
he didn't fix the actual problem.
We didn't fix what
he probably looked at it and said, I can't. This is beyond
words.
This is beyond my ability. But what I'm gonna do is leave with a check.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna 100%. Clear something, and you're gonna pay me something.
Word. That is exactly what happens. So cool. Fine. That's £100. Cool. It's all right. It's all right. Because see, when you're doing the stuff with houses, you're always going to take an
You're
L. So you like it's part of the game. So like now I'm emotionally prepped for the L's I will take
Mhm.
because like we haven't had many. So I'm like, all right,
Oh
cool.
no, prep yourself, girl. There's
Right.
still a carrier bag blocking one of the pipes underneath our sink. They said that we should get it fixed within the next few weeks, and that was a year ago.
What?
Because you know what, with houses, especially what I've learned in adulthood, is that you need to decide on what problems you're gonna ignore. Otherwise, you spend money every week.
Because there's always something to be done.
There's always something to be done. So you have to pick and choose what you're going to fix and what you're going to ignore. That's how you survive.
So cool. So that man hasn't fixed it. So we're like halfway fuming, but it's all right. You know what I mean? Cool. So yesterday, call up another set of people. Now, this leads to the story I was going to say about me not why things have to be bold in italic for me. So, I've called up, got quotes from 3 different companies, right?
Mhm.
Then we're calling back the company that we want to go with. Their phone's busy, but the message on the phone says, "Leave us a message, or we'll give you a call back." So I locked the phone. My partner was like, "Why didn't you leave a message?" I said, "Well, they said, or we'll give you a call back." So the or, obviously, it's not leave us a message and we'll give you a call back. Because if you use the word and, then that definitely means you're going to call us back, give from the information we've provided you. But if you say, leave us a message or we'll give you a call back, it's like you have an option. Either leave us a message or we'll give you a call back to discuss what your issue is. He was fuming. I was like, well,
Like, I need to get you a trophy of some sort. I don't know how you do it.
obviously he was like, you have to leave a message because it's not anyone would understand the context that or means leave a message and they will call you back. I'm like, okay, words. But anyway, so they said they will come in between 3 and 6 o'clock,
Mhm.
right? And at 5:30, and they said they have my number. The engineer had my number, so he'll let us know when he's on his way. At 5:30 exactly, I was like, I have not received a message, so I'm going to call. And well, good that I did because they said, oh, he's going to get there in 45 minutes, which means it wasn't between 3 and 6, may I just say. But okay. Anyway, they came, lovely lad, cool. Looked at it and they were like, okay, by this point we've paid like as I called them in the morning, they sent me a link to pay £250.
Hey!
So I've done it there and then in it because like we just need this sorted.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to because a lot of the places were like, oh, it's this per hour, where this is same day, we'll get it sorted
Yeah.
for you. So I was like, yeah, we want it sorted. That's
Yeah.
all we want. I'm really like goal driven in it.
Yeah.
So like, is it sorted? So obviously they get machines out. They've gone through different manholes, and then they were like, this doesn't lead nowhere. So I'm like, we're sitting there like, okay, so what can be done? They were like, just need to dig it out and make a new drain.
Excuse me?
So we're like, oh, so how much all that costs? They're like, all right, we'll send you a quote. And gave a quote. It cost 650. So now I just want you to know that we have paid £350 for the
That
problem to
man-
not be
Oh,
solved.
that man is smart. That man, he said, this is beyond my job spec, but I'm leaving here with a check. I'm sorry that you guys got scammed, but that guy is a legend. If you are watching this, I hear you. I hear you. Because he said, I'm not going to come all the way here. I'll leave with nothing. I'm leaving with something.
Game.
But you know what? For what it sounds like, that isn't a bad
The
price.
quote ain't bad. The quote,
Because I heard digging and I thought tractor.
I thought grands. Yeah. So when we got it, I was like, oh, light. It's not light, obviously. But light for what we thought
it would be. I thought we were going
be.
to say like 5K or something.
Right. We thought it was grands. We
Yeah.
thought this was like, well, don't know who we're calling on for that. It's someone's fault, so someone's got to pay. But no, that can be done. So when it can be done, that might not be a this month situation.
Yeah, man. Again, like I said, you got to choose what you're going to ignore and when you're going to address it. Like, there's just certain things you just got to ignore. Like right now, my tap, when I turn it on, some of the water doesn't actually come through the tap, it comes through the bottom.
I was saying, it's just,
But again, I know that that's not, I can manage that. That's fine. I just use it to clean around the tables, the tabletops and stuff. It's fine. There's a carrier bag literally blocking a pipe right now under my sink. It's doing the job. And when it finally gives in and I have to address it, I will address it. But until then, as long as everything's functioning, I'm not addressing it. But actually, this is actually what you to speak about an accountant this week that spun me. So, same way you're having issues, I've been having issues with my Wi-Fi. Now, we know I've been fighting my internet for a good 2 weeks now,
yeah.
and Sky have been gaslighting me that nothing's happening. I'm like, bro, I can see that something's happening. The internet speed literally dropped so badly.
Really?
When I went on the app and basically got them to test it, they said, yeah, we're going to book. They didn't even give me, they said, book an engineer. That was the only option, book an engineer. I was like, oh, so you lot know.
They said, you have a problem, we're
like,
coming.
We're coming. Book the engineer. And you know, usually they will tell you, like, they'll give you a time frame, like between so-and-so, like how they do it. So they said I chose between 8 and 12.
Okay, in the morning, yeah.
I assumed that the driver would text me when he's close, or they'll say, oh, he's half an hour away or something like that. And that, you know how I dress at home. So I'm there in my ripped up t-shirt with 2 face stains, my pajama trousers,
I love this.
legs rolled up because I sleep like I'm fighting. Literally bonnet on. The bonnet is not even tied properly. Chooks is all over me. Like, literally, we hear a buzzer. It's the engineer. I don't even have enough time. Like, I actually had to accept I had no time to try and change or anything. No bra, nothing. Titties swinging.
Just
swinging. Free. Just out. Literally had to open the door. I had to use Chooks to cover up with my toothpaste stains. So I carried Chooks to cover it. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Morning breath and all. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were coming like now. I didn't realize you meant 8. I thought you were the text. He was like, no, I'm here. It's fine. Tia, I let this man in, yeah? Bear in mind, the Wi-Fi box is near the little Chooks' litter box.
I know what it's doing.
Why did I not notice that Chooks had done a shit the size of himself in that box? And usually Chooks is good at burying his shit. That fresh piece of turd was there. And it was smelling. I don't know why the smell only hit me when the engineer was there. And my man sat on the floor to fix the modem. So the poo is just... Chooks is looking at me like, rah, sorry. I'm looking at him like, you've disgraced us. Man is not looking at anybody.
No, because when men want to mind their
He
business,
went to go have a shower.
they
He
will
said,
mind.
well...
it's not my problem. When men want to mind their business, they will mind it.
I'm looking at this man. This man is gonna use us to gist tonight when he gets home. Oh my God. I'm here dressed like a mad woman. Chooks is out here doing shits the size of him. He was probably worried. He was like, how old is he? And I feel like he only asked me how old Chooks was when he saw the size of the shit. Because he was probably looking at the size of Chooks and looking at the size of shit and saying, what is going on?
In here?
Oh my God.
Introduce
Intro.
ourselves.
I'm sorry. I know the last couple of episodes, we've just been chatting. You lot don't know our names. You lot don't know anything about anything. So we're actually going to do the intro, not towards the end of the show, but at least somewhere in the beginning, so you guys know what you're watching. So now. Welcome to episode 7 of the We Just Got Here podcast. My name is Steph.
My name is Tia. And we are best friends. And we come here every week to gist about life and show you that adulthood isn't that serious.
And as you can see, it isn't that serious because no one knows what the hell they're doing. But yeah, great intro. At least we did it this week, so no one can say that they don't know what they're watching. I mean, it's not exactly the Joe Budden podcast, is it? Come on, it's in the title, but still.
Also, like, I want to clarify, yeah, because we had this conversation. My name is actually Christiana.
Yeah.
And Steph interchangeably, which I did love, goes between Chris and Tia, but my socials are Tia, which is why I say my name is Tia. It's an abbreviated version. Abbreviation? It's like a shortened version of my name. How did we get there? May you ask? Christiana. Tia. Do you get it?
I say Chris just because
Yeah.
Chris. Although, actually, it's been a problem in the past because people have assumed that you're a guy for the longest.
Really?
Because your name's also saved as Chris on my phone.
I love that. I like that. I really want that to be a thing.
No.
Why?
I know why you want it to be a thing.
Why?
You're very much a woman and a friend. I'm sure you people have seen it, but Drake and Kendrick are going back to back with it. Like last night, it's like it was the battle of ages whilst we were sleeping.
Yeah.
Kendrick-
Bam, bam, bam.
Obviously, Kendrick dropped Euphoria earlier on in the week. Well, last week, by the time this comes out. As his response to Drake, basically called him a bad B, said that his abs are fake, that he should stop saying the N-word, and then coming for his son. That now provoked Drake to come back last night with Family Matters, where he basically insinuated that Kendrick beats his wife, on top of other things. And then Kendrick had the video uploaded on YouTube but set on private and then immediately pressed it on public.
Said, I was waiting for you.
And the thing is, in Kendrick's diss, he basically insinuated that Drake has moles, like people that basically feed information back to Kendrick in his camp. Which actually I believe, because the way Kendrick dropped a response in 15 minutes, I was like, nah.
He knew. Yeah.
And there was Meet the Grahams. And then the artwork for that, well, it's not even artwork, it's like a photo. It was like of a vintage shirt, made back gloves, sleeping pills, a receipt for a ring that Drake bought to apparently mock Pharrell, and then a packet of Ozempic. And these items were apparently stolen from Drake's dad's suitcase. So now I want to know who is taking that Ozempic. And also, who took that photo? And why are they arranged it like that? Because it was properly arranged, properly arranged. They spread out the shirt, took out the creases, laid the gloves down gently, arranged the Ozempic so you could just see half of it. So you know it's Ozempic, but there's no full evidence.
Also, sorry. I just used my brain a little piece, right? Because we spoke about this, yeah. But also, isn't Ozempic also like a diabetes medication?
Oh, yeah, actually.
So, and you know his dad is old.
Maybe, and he's black, and he probably eats rice. So, sorry.
Because not all the time, not everyone that eats rice will get diabetes.
Apparently, it's the rice that's destroying the black community. So maybe he's eating rice.
Can I say, my dad really used to go off at us because of my dad. Also, can I just say, my dad was black, so yeah, just so it doesn't seem like I'm culturally appropriating. But my dad would talk about the amount of starch we eat in our diet. And he's like, you know, the cassava, the dasheen, the plantain, the green banana, and then we have the rice. And that's why all of us have diabetes. So you know, I hear it.
You know what? Plantain, I hear it because, you know, one time I was eating plantain, I was like, this is so sweet. There's no way it ain't killing us.
And it's so good. It's so addictive.
When plantain is ripe, it is so sweet. I'm like, there's no way this is good for us. Because not only are you a carb, but you're also sweet. Our blood sugar is
and
fighting.
It caramelizes as well. It's that kind
I know
of...
it's terrible. But have you tried... I can't get into green plantain though.
As in green banana?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand it.
I can't... It's yam in the shape of a banana.
But I am... yeah, so this is my unpopular opinion. I'm not a fan of hard food at all.
See, now, you know what? I like yam. But I feel like I like yam because I'm Igbo. So the same way rice has been we've been raised on rice, I've also been raised on yam.
Fine, yeah.
But yeah, it's been a big back and forth. And one thing that actually, I love rap beef because I feel like, again, this is like hip hop culture. I'm like, yeah, we're back. But one thing that I do worry about when it comes to these things is all the secrets that come out. And I know some of them might not be true, and it's all in just to obviously spice up the beef and stuff.
If it is.
But if it is, I'm like, so you knew this and you kept quiet all along. And now that you guys are beefing, that's when you want to expose each other.
Yeah, but that ain't the point. What
I, I,
like?
I know, but I'm just like,
What's your business
okay,
talking
so
people's
if you knew this
business?
person was a bad person, why were you boys then? All of a sudden, now that you're falling out, all of a sudden it's a
Oh,
problem.
that bit.
Now it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
problem.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the
Oh
only bit
yeah,
I'm just
beating the
like,
wife thing.
yeah, I'm like, oh, so you
Yeah.
knew and you overlooked it then, but now that you guys are beefing, all of a sudden, oh, you're gonna spill the tea. I'm just like, kind of makes you look a bit too. But even then, like we've got Wizkid and Davido that were fighting
Oh
last week as well.
yeah.
That was random. I feel like Wizkid just got up and said, I want violence. He just started tweeting
That
out of
was
nowhere.
random.
Oh, that was random.
Because he posted the video of him crying.
Yeah, because Wizkid,
Let's not laugh.
they still haven't revealed the context behind that video. And I feel like they
Begging.
really, really do. That woman's wicked for leaking that video. But yeah, Wizkid, because you know, like Wizkid's like the Beyonce of Nigeria, so he rarely speaks. But when he speaks, like people pay attention because he has something to say.
Because he's really the cool kid, innit? He's very calm and collected.
Yeah, but
and
this
cool.
one, he was like just releasing the clip. I was like, what is the context? Did someone tell you something? And obviously, Davido's trying to defend himself. So he's trying to fire back. That like it's just a back and forth. Rema drops a comment in there because Wizkid randomly fires at Rema at some point.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like it's crazy. I was like, what's going on? Then Chris Brown is there sending for Quavo, which is like the most random beef ever. Because why are you two beefing?
You know, Chris Brown's arrogance, yeah, is something I would love to study.
You know what though? The boy is talented. I know
He
he's.
is.
I'm not talking about his character. We know he's a dickhead and all of that. But talent, he has it.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He can be arrogant in music.
No, in talent as a whole, because he's a great rapper, singer, dancer.
Yeah.
He does it. He does it well.
Character-wise, oh, baby.
But you also look like you're intoxicated a lot.
A lot. Oh no, again, Quavo came back and basically called him a nitty.
Because
And I was like, oh, you're not beating the allegations too, because when you look when you look close, you can see it looks hard.
Yeah.
It looks hard. The hair's starting to thin as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a bad, yeah.
It's like,
I was like, I wish you would have kept quiet until like
you're sorted.
You scrubbed yourself up and maybe went to Turkey to fill in the bits. But now you've just done it in the state that you're in and you've given Quavo literally like just like a clean run. It's not even like it's in a way where if he had said it, it's like, oh, we're looking at Chris like, oh, like, couldn't be. Like, he's obviously lying just to add to the beef. But we looked at him and we're like,
Do you know what? Because like some things are so obvious. And like musicians who are that talented, again, like, fair share, Kanye, exceptionally talented. But we know.
we know too much.
Like we know. So like Chris is like, again, exceptionally talented. But the arrogance for what we know.
Yeah. Like, and the fact that he sent first, I was like, you should really, you see how people are letting you have your run? Keep quiet and just be grateful for that. Don't come out, open your mouth and say anything more.
Just bathe in your music.
Don't
just
say
bathe in that.
anything outside of music, outside of singing and doing the backflip. Don't do it. Just keep quiet. Because you're just giving people opportunity to remember.
And we can see, that's the thing, it's very bold. So it's not even remember. It's just, you're letting us see
it.
A bit more clearly than it already is. It's already clear.
Keep it quiet.
So, yeah.
But one thing I do also hate, and I know everyone's going to be, oh yeah, like, you know, it's hip hop. I don't like the way women catch stray bullets in
like
these battles.
Sweetie.
So Sweetie, even Kendrick's wife, Drake's baby mom, like, I just hate how women are dragged into this as like collateral damage.
And it's always sexual.
I'm so bad because I didn't even say kids today. I said the women. I mean, kids.
Oh yeah, the kids.
That's like kind of expected. But like women, I'm just like,
no, wait, hold on. What's this? It's not expected. You shouldn't be bringing in the kids.
It's a dirty battle, man. They can
so the women.
But I'm like, the women, like, allow it, like, because it's always like,
it's very sexual all the time. It's about
Drake was like, oh, how apparently one of Kendrick's children isn't actually his, and it's actually David Freeman's. That's like, again, you could have gone with something else. Say the kid has a big head. Something. Why that? But yeah, I just hate the way women.
I mean, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the coming after children. Like
I know people are gonna be like, oh, well, yeah, girls ridiculous, I going after kids. But again, battle rap. I just hate how misogyny just
comes
into it. It goes from you directly attacking that person to actually diverting your attack to someone else. It has nothing to do with it.
To the women around
Yeah,
them.
that's
To
what
the
I'm
women
saying. Yeah,
around them. Yeah,
so
yeah.
someone that doesn't have anything to do with it, like, sweetie, we didn't need to know.
Yeah, like now everyone knows her. Like, yeah, like leave the girl business. Let
Leave
the
the girl
girl run
business
what she
alone.
want to
If she
run.
wanna do,
Like,
like, you lot change women every night. She has small fun and now, like, it's a bar in your diss
and this
to
is what.
someone else.
Can I just
Her
say, yeah,
ex.
I hate this about the internet because everyone be talking up future, 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 but you're coming for sweetie. Mind your business. Let the girl enjoy herself. Let the girl do what she wants. Have fun who she wants. Date who she wants. Because when it's cut for the man them, it's fine.
It's
It's
fine.
fine. Anyway, please.
But yeah, and do you know what? Actually, I wanted to speak to you about this. So I don't know about you, but I've noticed a surge in complaints and bad vibes on the timeline. I feel like bad vibes is ingrained in British culture.
It's been worse in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I feel
As
the
in
cost
last
of living.
2 years.
Yeah, I feel like the cost of living has really brought out the hateration of this nation. It is ridiculous.
Horrific.
It is actually ridiculous. The other day, a woman posted her shopping on Twitter. It was about 4 items, including like a pack of peas. She was complaining about the price. I think it came up to something ridiculous. Like, it was definitely over £20. Why were people under the comments like, well, you should have got the supermarket brand peas. You went to go get branded peas, so you can't complain about the price. Peas, Christiana.
What, bird's eye?
Peas, Christiana.
Guys.
Peas. People said that she shouldn't complain because she didn't buy the Sainsbury's own brand of peas. And I see this all the time, even when it comes to like, especially when it comes to like money, things when it comes to like money, the British people are haters. Biggest hate, salary talks. Oh my God. Well, you can manage the 30K. We're back in my day, I was on 15K. Yeah, but the houses were £5. So it was fine for you. I just feel like, I know that it's like rough times and people are going through shit, but I feel like people are having a harder time hiding their hater and bad vibes energy.
Yeah. Well, not having a harder time. I don't think so. I think we are permitting a culture in which that negativity is more celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that because now that the amount of things I see on the internet, and I may or may not be in the shade room comments.
She is.
No, because the things just annoy me. Do you get what I mean? And sometimes when they annoy me, I have to. I'm learning now. Not everything you have to speak on. Do you get what I mean? But a lot of the time, I'm looking at it and I'm like, by the way, we can tell you're miserable. By the way, I don't know if you were. You might have been trying to hide it, but because of what you typed, we can see you're sad in your life. You can see your marriage is breaking down. You can see your partner cheated on you. You can see that you're not where you need to be. You can see you're desperate to find a partner. You can see your sadness. I just want you to know, because you think you're hiding it, and you're not, because you don't need to do all of that.
Yeah, and it's like they're using opportunities that should be celebrated to be miserable and project on that person. Like, even like with the DLT festival, so Recipe Festival, when that was announced and tickets went on sale and stuff, actually I think it's just before the tickets went on sale, and the prices of the tickets were announced because people would be so adamant, like, oh, we want to know the prices, da, da, da. Someone went to go, one, there were people kicking off about the prices of the tickets, and then I think the guy who runs it was like, well, staying at home is free. And everyone's like, oh, we hate how business owners talk to their customers and that. But there's a point. If you don't want to pay that money, you don't have to go.
Don't go.
Best believe someone went on on Instagram, went to go make a post to Jasmine Sullivan saying that this festival is trying to basically overcharge your fans and this is unfair. Please do a separate headline show because the ticket price is like extortionate. Why would you do that?
What
and I think the person thought that people were going to gather around and be like, yeah, like do a separate show. People were literally like, what the hell are you doing? The person deleted it.
What the hell?
But do you know the level of hateration that must be in your spirit, your soul, for you to go out of your way and make a whole Instagram post trying to tarnish this brand's image to their headline act.
My thing is with this, yeah, right. We're living in a time, and like I say this to you, I think a lot of us are lonely, and like obviously on a more political note, we've just had like a lot of vote. We're voting now, and it's very apparent that our country, and we're just not talking about a generation now, like the country as a whole, are quite unhappy, and it's because we're all
Yeah,
broke.
we're all
Like,
broke.
we're
And
struggling.
yeah.
We can't buy houses. The food is extortionate. Brexit's been doing what Brexit
Yeah.
does. So everyone's miserable. But in that same breath, and I swear, the self-hatred is at an all-time high because you lot will talk and say, when there's nothing for you, there's no social things to do. Oh, there's nothing for us. We can't go out. We need social places. We need third spaces. So third spaces are like spaces that are not work and not home. So
Yeah.
other places to socialize.
It's
So
like
pubs, church, like community centers. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
on the community side, that's obviously dead, dusted,
Funding gone.
gone, right? So there's not that for the young kids anyway. So then what now? Clubs gone, right? So
Done for.
right. Because now you have to be following events across the country because all our clubs have shut down. Like
Yeah.
London does, well, I can speak for London, but I know it's happening across like, in other cities as well. Like the club scene is not there
And remember,
anymore.
a lot of venues closed down during COVID.
Right.
And then the ones that are closing down now are the ones that managed to get extra funding to keep themselves just about afloat during COVID, but now it's not even making financial sense.
Right. Because like the smaller events are not doing well. And yet, we have the conversations about how people are lonely, how people, like the genders are fighting each other. Left, right, and centre. Nobody likes each
Blow
other.
for blow.
Like, as in, we're going into dates saying, what are you going to do wrong? All right. So where do we build community? And therefore, if now we're not going to support the stuff that we have, so like events like that, and there's smaller events as well, because those are struggling in particular, like smaller live events, stuff that might happen in like pop-up places. What will we have? What will we have?
Nothing. But I don't even think is events that are people's problem. Is seeing people actually execute them and them do well. Because even with this, what Recess Land, when they announced it, best believe people are asking for a breakdown of cost to justify the ticket prices. As in, someone actually went out their way to find the capacity of the venue, multiply that by the ticket prices, and say, "Rah, these are making money. Why do they need this much?" It's not the event; it's them actually being unable to fathom the fact that someone is brave enough to actually get up, start something, and it be a success. Like, people really struggle with it.
But I find, this goes on to another thing me and you have spoken about previously, like I find like our culture doesn't celebrate anybody until they blow clear.
Like, you've gone clear. And you have the few people that will stick around because they think, actually, this might be something. Let me just stick around just in case. But in general, people will literally ignore what you're doing until it blows up. It needs that one close sign from that one person. It's like, oh, right, they've seen it. Okay, it must be cool.
And these times people know. People know they
see
know
it.
what you're doing.
They see it. Because when they see you, they're like, oh, I see that thing that you're doing. But they never interact with the content. They will never like subscribe to anything. It's just like, right, I see what you're doing. Nah, I rate it. And that's why when people even do that to me, I don't even take it in because I'm like, you don't rate it enough to actually interact with the content. You're clearly just waiting for someone else for it to blow up a bit so that you can co-sign it. So I don't believe your words.
I'm really grateful because I was having a thought about that, and like that person I am.
Yeah.
So if I was to really deep things,
give
me hell. So like I was saying to Steph the other day, like I love the fact that my world is essentially quite busy right now, but busy with a close community of people.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate that I have a close community of people who are creative, that do similar things, or like in a similar space.
Yeah.
And that's my hub. Those are the places.
Yeah.
And obviously I do this with you. So like, you're my best friend. I'm validated by our conversations rather than thinking about, oh, can people see what I'm doing? Because no one will ever acknowledge it, especially like, again, going back to British culture, people will not acknowledge it. It's not like American culture.
Yeah.
Where it's
where
like,
they embrace.
they're like, oh my God, I see what you're doing.
Super supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah. like Brits are especially black Brits are very tough nut to crack when it comes to like creative things and actually supporting things. Because again, they're waiting for it to blow in order for it to be
Mm.
co-signed. But even when it does blow,
Talk on it.
again, hateration. Like the other day, again, I'm using so many examples because there's just too many examples now. Obviously, Shits and Gigs sold out O2. That is a huge deal for UK podcasts to be able to sell out a venue that size.
Mhm.
Obviously, the people that know them and are fans of them, etc., and understand what work goes into even getting to that point, we're celebrating them. This is amazing. Da, 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 da. And then there was people like, oh, what they're gonna do? Read out tweets. Oh, why would you go pay to go see a podcast live? Okay, but 20,000 people did. So clearly they're doing something right. But also, why would you see that and publicly open your mouth to try and play it down?
But that
Like,
that
do you
is
know
crazy.
we can see you?
That is crazy.
And I go on their profiles, you know. And when I go on the profiles, it all makes sense. I'm like, it's not that you have a problem with the event. You have a problem with the fact that somebody was actually brave enough to start something and it's a success to the point where 20,000 people have paid a ticket to see these people live. As in, people are flying in from America to watch them at the O2 Arena. Could you bring out 5 people?
She said 5.
Could you bring out 5 people? Could you fill out your local McDonald's?
Also, people need to, sorry, side note, yeah. People need to be mindful when they talk on the internet, yeah. Because when we can see you, we can see why you're talking.
I go on your profile.
So when you're giving big hater energy, by the way, you look
like a hater.
Yeah, well,
I'm going through your tweets and I'm seeing you complain about something like, okay, this person's just miserable in general. Your opinion's not even valid.
And sometimes it just visually shows also, guys. So
please,
when the hateration, when you wear it like makeup, yeah, just so you know, people can see that.
But even that, like that backlash really hits me off because I was like, this is a great thing for Black British culture. A podcast with 2 Black men
being themselves, showcasing their relationships,
speaking in slang, like any of us, getting to the point where they can sell out the O2 just from being themselves. Not that they're performing, not they're musicians, or, you know, not like they're dancers, not like they are just literally 2 friends who started this talking to each other. Common theme here, I'm joking. Talking to each other. And they built something so great that has allowed them to fund their livelihoods and has inspired so many people that people are willing to fly in from different countries to watch them speak in person. Instead of you celebrating that and saying, okay, cool, this is inspiration for me because now I know what's possible. Like maybe that idea that I had can be something and can grow beyond what I think the limitations are. Instead of looking at it that way, go looking at it like, wow, I'm gonna read out tweets. You go read out tweets then. Let's see who shows up. Go read out tweets. I just think it's awful. And the thing is with that, again, people see what you're saying. And I think I've said this in the previous episode. The bravest thing you can do, yeah, is actually take that step to start. But even then, we know how daunting that is.
But we know how daunting that is.
We know why people are so scared of what people think, etc. Just because they see what people say.
And this is what I was saying, like, going back to what I said to you, like, sometimes you've got to be, like, and I think when you do start off anything that you're passionate about, that you've wanted to do for a long time, you have to be really good at ignoring everything but the thing you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I feel so here you won't get the validation. If you're searching for outside validation, it's gonna be hell. You ain't gonna get it. If you do, it might be by luck, because it'll be by luck, and be grateful for it when it comes, but don't expect it.
Don't expect it. It's a rare occurrence rather than the norm. Yeah. Especially if you don't have a platform, you're not already famous, etc. Like the other day, I think I told you, I came across a tweet where someone said that unless you're a celebrity, an influencer, or a well-established brand, like there's no point of you starting a podcast in this day and age. And I was like, imagine if someone had an idea of starting a podcast and they saw that and that discouraged them.
But imagine living your life like that, not doing what you want to do
because you are not already famous. The people that are famous or influencers, etc., how did they get there? Did they not start one day? Was everyone born with a platform? No.
It's crazy. Like, how can you put people off from doing what they want to do?
And people in the comments
Because
like,
that make no
that
sense.
doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make no sense.
The people that you're calling influencers, celebrities, etc., they all started from somewhere. No one was born with a platform.
Unless, again, and unless you're Blue Ivy, again.
We all have to start somewhere. But I just hate this culture of like hateration where we're like going out of our way to basically tear down people that are actually doing something with their lives, that are actually achieving things.
And can I just say, those stories I find are more interesting than someone just born into circumstances that allow them to do things. Because obviously, their process is a lot more easier. I want to do this. Hey, dad. Hey, mum. Hey, whoever around me. I want to do this done. Whereas when you have more of a journey, when you don't necessarily have those resources to call on from the jump. So you have to find it. You have to go through trials and tribulations. You've got to work through it. You've got to plan it. There's a lot more story there. There's a lot more to see. There's a lot more to hear.
And just even, again, do you know how hard it is to even just start and be consistent at something?
It took us 5 years.
It literally took us 5 years to get to this point. Like, it literally took us 5 years. And even before we launched this podcast, we had been working on it for 6 months. 6 months.
Before we did BIM in front of a camera.
Before we even put anything in front, even anything on our YouTube channel, anything on Spotify, etc. We had been working on it for 6 months. But then
we are also perfectionists, though.
We're also perfectionists, but yeah, okay.
A bit half crazy, but anyway.
But in a good way. I think you have to be some way crazy in order to do it and actually zone in, do it, not care about validation and be consistent with it.
Yeah.
But like, it's a terrible culture, honestly. And even for me, as someone who's like super ambitious, there's been many a times I've been made to feel awkward for wanting more. I remember when I first went back to uni, everyone's like, why are you going back to uni? Especially at work, like it felt like it was almost like a taboo.
Just because you can't.
Just because you can't.
Just stop.
But then when I graduated, and I was, oh, congratulations, always knew you can do it. But literally, even just having interests outside of your career.
I hate that because I remember when I was first training to work in TV, and it was originally a scheme to help people that don't necessarily always take up those spaces.
Yeah.
To help them get into those spaces, right? And so again, it was like, I want to say it's like a charity, but like that helps people do it. Yeah. It's a scheme, right? And so, but the background I was from, I wasn't on any kind of universal credit or anything like that. I was working, but like it wasn't this resale. Do you get me? So you generally needed to be on that. So out of work to do the scheme. And I was like, I'm not out of work, but I'm not also not getting paid that much. So, you know. So, but because I wasn't on because I wasn't on universal credit, I couldn't have anything to fund my life while I was doing this, while I was doing the training scheme, if I'd stop work. So I was kind of like, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to work as well as do this training scheme. So this training scheme was like from 8 till like 6 or 7. And I was just like, okay, so I'm going to every day, like Monday to Friday, right? So I'm going to every day after I finish here, so I'm going to finish here around 6, get to the shop for 7 and work from 7 till 10 and then work the weekends as well. So 7 days a week. And I remember someone saying to me, like people that were doing the scheme at the time, they were like, okay, I just want you to know that it's a lot and a lot of people don't really last in the scheme when they're working. And I was like, great, I will though. And they were, okay, just so you know, like, yeah, it doesn't really happen. I'm like, yeah, I will though. And I hate that idea that you don't know how my brain works. You don't know how crazy I am to make this happen. And so when I finished it, they were like, oh my God, we didn't think you'd do it. I'm like, I did say it though. I did tell you. Because when I want something, I'ma get that by force or by fire. Yeah. Do you get me? So you can't tell people what they can and can't do.
I had a boss, my manager, that literally tried to actively encourage me to drop out of uni. It was like, it's not feasible. How can you balance this and uni? I was like, first of all, this is a 9 to 5. Outside of that, I have a whole other life. I can do this. And I did it. But even then, having an interest in politics. So obviously I'm very much like in tune when it comes to Nigerian politics because of my parents. My parents are very much into politics. My mum constantly watching the news. Like watching the news was like a thing for me. Like whether it was BBC or AIT or whatever, my mum made sure we were watching the news. And my dad is very much into like politics as well, political stuff. So I naturally grew up with a interest in politics. And it became like an aspiration that when I'm older, like in my 50s, 60s, I would something that I would like to get involved in. I used to be quite vocal about it, and I actually stopped. One, because I've just been completely put off politics just because of the whole. It's so corrupted. I just genuinely don't think I'm a bad enough person to actively participate in it and do well in it. But also because people were starting to use that against me and say, "Oh, she's not really invested in her career because she's got this and that,
What?
or she's interested in this and that." I was so confused. I was like, "Do you guys expect to actually just like live and die here? Is this it for you?" Because I'm
Mm.
genuinely a person, like, I knew that going into my 30s, there was going to be some kind of transition. It might not be in my career. Maybe it's like what I do on the side. Or I knew I wanted to
We've
really,
always had that.
really delve
Yeah.
into my creative side and like, learn new skills. I'm always learning something. But I realized that a lot of people see that as like a problem, like it rubs them the wrong way. And I only find it with British people. Only find it with British people. Everyone else is
Yeah,
it's fine.
it's a
It's like,
plus.
yeah,
It's
it's a
like, yeah,
plus.
you've
Like,
got more skills.
especially like American counterparts, like, oh my God, you're amazing.
Mm.
But here it's like, actually, you can't do that because that's going to distract you from work. Oh, you can't do that because it's going to distract you. You have put me on a contract Monday to Friday for a certain amount of time. Yeah? You
Mm.
have me for that certain amount of time. After that, you have no autonomy
Words.
over my life.
Word. Let me do what I want now.
And if you want me to continue to add value to your company and you want me to stay here, you must accept that and you must let it be.
But this is the thing, because I don't understand why companies won't understand that a growth in your skill set means you're of added value to them. It blows my mind every time.
And that's why I really appreciate where I currently am at in my career because it's not a problem.
Mm.
People have seen how I've been over the last 10 years and know this is a norm.
Mm.
No one's going to question it. Because the moment I even feel like you have a problem with it, oh, it's time for me to bounce.
But then, because that ends up being, I remember having this conversation, that ends up stifling, like a company or someone you work for can't stifle your own personal growth because it's too much of a risk.
And they can let you go tomorrow.
Right.
And that's what happens when people like build their whole personality and life around their career, around that one job. When they snatch it from you,
what do you have?
What do you have? And that's how people fall into depression. And like, it's just, honestly, my heart goes out to all the people that were laid off, like during like this whole recession and over COVID, because I know it's not easy. But like, I think that, and from what I saw on LinkedIn anyway, it forced a lot of people to realize actually there's a life outside of here and this can be taken away from me very quickly. So what else do I have that's mine that can't be taken away from us?
In you, yeah.
And that's why I love this podcast because it's our baby. It's like, they can't take this from us. No one can take this from us. We built it.
We sit down, and that's what I was saying. Like, we sit down at the end of this recording, and we're like, "Oh, we love this. We do this." Da, da, da. And what matters is obviously our listeners do matter. Of course, they matter, but people that engage with it, people that are into it, matter. If you're not,
then yeah, if you're outside of that, I don't really care
because you're not engaging with it.
And
so
honestly, like we literally pay attention to every single number, whether it's a like, a comment, a subscriber.
I love
literally.
the comments. I love seeing people say, "Oh, this happened to me." Da, da, da. Oh, the rice is this for me. Oh, when I once had a driving instructor that did this. Like, we pay attention.
Absolutely love it. Like,
because that's our community.
Everything, because that's our community. It's something that it's a vision that we've brought to life. It's our baby. But it's also given me, again, I feel like a sense of freedom because I have a creative outlet outside of this identity that maybe people know me for my career or what I do Monday to Friday.
And those comments are our community. Do you know what I mean? They now become part of our podcast. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, that's what we can pay attention to. We can't focus on people that aren't,
or
because it's
are
like
ignoring it or Ray Charles in it. Like, and I'll say this as like, if you are consistent and you keep going at it, it might be slow growth. Like, we started here, I think I was excited that we got 10 views on our first episode when it dropped on YouTube. I was literally like, the first time we got 700 views on our TikTok, I was like to Chris, get the agent on the
She called me, I was on the bus, she's like, girl, get the agent. Get the agent. We got
live,
viral.
baby. We live, baby. Talk to me nice. But again, it's just the sense of seeing something that you've obviously been working on for so long and bringing a vision to life and people actually engaging with it. To the point where you're so occupied with that, you don't care about who's not engaging or who's purposely going out of their way to not engage or take notes of it, etc. At the end of the day, like I said, if you keep going at it and you're consistent and your content is good or you keep improving, you don't even have to be good to start, man. Just start and improve.
That is the key thing, because people feel like they have to be good to start because everyone's watching. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I
Nothing's
promise you,
ever going to be
the 5
perfect.
people that watch the first few episodes won't even notice the kind of errors that you are overthinking in your head. As long as you're improving every episode, you know what you need to improve, and you work on it, you're fine. And if you keep going at it, it will come to a point where people can't ignore it because they're everywhere. Literally, when I go on my own personal socials, literally our posts come up everywhere. I'm like, wow, we must be annoying. Someone must have muted us. Someone must have muted us. Especially on
Or
Instagram.
we're funny.
Or
we're funny. I'm hoping the latter.
I'm hoping the latter, but I'm sure there's someone that's muted us, and that's fine. But like, we need to be able to encourage people to continue to create, to continue to be brave and put themselves out there, etc. But otherwise, this industry will die. The creative industry will die, and there'll be no space for us because we're all too scared to start something because some haters gonna come online and be like, "Well, you're just reading tweets online."
But
You read the tweet.
Not even just the creative industry will die, but like, guys, we won't have stuff that represents us.
We won't have stuff to consume. We won't have anything to consume.
And you know how, you're here, so you know how you love to consume. I love to consume. So all of a sudden, and that's, for example, that's why I love YouTube. Because YouTube is so freeing. And I just get to see the wildest stuff. I can live vicariously through people. It's so fun. It's so dynamic. Forever changing. There's forever new stuff. And that is good. I
don't even watch TV no more, you know.
Go.
All I watch is YouTube.
Go.
Even Netflix is like once in a while. I stay on YouTube because I just love consuming people's content. I love seeing, their perspectives on things. I love seeing, the other people's lives, even just learning new things. Like, we need more of that. And I'm so happy I'm seeing more black men vlog. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Especially British black boys. I absolutely love it.
Vlog.
Black boys and men. I absolutely love it. Like the other day I
Yeah.
came across Taser's YouTube channel and he's vlogging. I was like, this is amazing. And I hope this inspires other people. And then Young Ads
Is he vlogging?
from D Block Europe, he vlogs as well. Proper puts effort into it. Like the edits are great. Like it's just, I'm so happy that more black men are coming into that space because it's needed.
Yeah.
And what that will do is that will inspire more black men and boys to lean into those platforms. I think for the longest, obviously, when we're growing up, it's different times, isn't it? Putting yourself out there was a bit like, oh, that's a bit sassy. Why are you doing that? Why are you holding the camera now? But now people are becoming more open to it.
And also showcase your personality. It's okay.
It's okay to be funny. It's okay to be vulnerable. Show yourself, man. If you like fashion, show us your outfits. Give us a get ready with me.
Can I just say,
it doesn't impact your masculinity
at all. Like, so this is something that I spoke about my friends about, right? Because again, with British culture, everything's a bit more shush, 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 right? And we're not friendly.
No.
So especially Londoners, I'll say, okay, everyone has that conversation about how Londoners ain't friendly. And there came a point in my 20s where I became comfortable with being a beg.
You have to.
Because I was like, hold on. I like meeting new people. I like experiencing new people. I like experiencing new things. And so I want to make friends with people in order to do so. So like, why am I going to pretend that I'm a cool girl? Why am I pretending?
If you do now, just playing yourself, and that's why we have people online talking about, oh, they don't know how to host, or they have no one to host, or they're lonely, they don't have friends, because you're not actually opening yourself up to actually make friendships. We can't all be stush. It was stush. There's no community.
And imagine pretending, if you're not like that, imagine pretending to be that. You're miserable. One day I turned around, I was like, if I'm a beg, I'm a beg. Like, I don't actually give a shit. Like, I love to support people when people are doing cool
what people
things.
don't
I'm like,
realize is that in the corporate world, being a beg is what will help you climb up the ladder. You see them people that are doing stush, they're fighting for their lives at work. I don't have lunch in my work. I don't care about my work people. I don't have lunch there. I sit by myself. That's why you're not getting promoted. That's why you've been there 5 years and they haven't even moved you from assistant to a coordinator because you are literally blocking your own blessings. Open yourself up to forming new relationships. It will make life a bit less miserable for you. It's crazy. I remember when
100%.
someone called me a beg, because I think we must have gone out to an event. I think their cousin came. And we were just like, we got friendly during the night and stuff and we exchanged socials, etc. And then she posted a picture where she looks really nice. I think, no, it was like her graduation or something. I was like, oh, congrats, beautiful. You look gorgeous. And then the person whose cousin it was went to go and comment under saying, oh, you beg. I was like, what is a beg about that? I'm saying, should I say she's ugly? Or should I just ignore it?
Like, and
Someone's graduating. That is a big accomplishment. They look great.
girls that do this really blow my mind because I'm like, and I remember I dealt with this. You just brought back a memory. So there was one performer, because we used to do events, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say 10 years ago, yeah? And there's one performer and they spoke to someone I know and I'll always be like, girl, you killed it. Beautiful voice, beautiful girl. I'm like, girl, you killed it. Da, 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 da. And then I don't know how this conversation came up, but they were talking to somebody about, like, to somebody that knew me. And they're like, oh, you know, da, da, da. And she was like, oh, yeah, that's just a girl that begs me.
Because they're
Baby
friendly
girl,
to you.
because I'm friendly and I
you
say,
lot are too used to abuse. That's all it shows. For me, when people are like that, I'm just like, you're just too used to being abused.
it's like, girl, you're just talented and beautiful. And I'm going to say it. But all right, if that's the attitude.
If someone calling you
All right.
beautiful makes you think automatically think that they're hold on. If someone calling you beautiful makes you automatically think that they're a beg, if that's the first thought that comes to your mind, all it shows is that you are not used to being complimented. You're not used to being complimented and you're probably used to being abused. Because how is that the first thought that comes to your mind? That says a lot about you than it says about the other person. The other person's clearly fulfilled in themselves, secure in themselves to the point where they can acknowledge you're beautiful and tell you. For you to now take that as, oh, they're just being a beg. Sis, look within yourself. But yeah, I'm conscious that we are running out of time. So shall we move on to Reddit Realness?
Okay, today's Reddit Realness. My child's father controls my life, but considers himself single. I'm 26 and I have a 5-year-old son. My relationship with his father is unorthodox and confusing. Whoa. We have sex, go on dates, and do things together with our son, but he lives like he's single. He dates and hooks up with other women while I'm loyal to him. Usually, we talk daily, but he has gone days without responding to me, while I have to share my location with him always.
Excuse me?
It's crazy. I wait on him when he visits. I cook him dinner. He tells me to bring him a beer or a water bottle when he wants it. We don't spend time at his apartment. When I'm there, it's because he asks me to clean and do laundry for him. Let me just... He has a temper and has put his hands on me twice before. I just mentioned this to say I've been very tolerant. I'm typically quiet and reserved, so I don't really push his buttons. It's emotionally draining. I don't like living like this. I hold on to what normalcy. Wow. What normalcy and security I can get, and for my son's sake. I also just don't know what to do. He tells me sex with me is different. I have a special place in his life. I'm the most beautiful woman. He has told me we'll get married at the right time, that he's going to buy a house. We can have another baby and I can stay at home. I can be a stay-at-home mum. I already had his child, so why wait and play around with me? I feel trapped.
He's saying that you're going to be a stay-at-home mom so he can know your location and whereabouts 24/7. Sis, that is a relationship and this man is cheating and yeah, you need to stand up and leave him.
It is mad.
Because not only is he putting his hands on you, he is playing about with your health. This man is going out, having sex with other women, coming back to say sex is with you is different. So, it's like, oh yeah, I have all of these other like chicken wings, yeah, but your flavor bangs.
You know what that comes to mind? Stop fights with him. The man love him belly. Just poison him.
Just poison him. Don't poison him. In case the feds are watching.
That is Dexter Dapp said it because
it's what? Sis,
hold
leave.
on.
This man's asking to share your location.
Hold on, let me break this down because so hold on. You must cook.
You must clean.
You must share location.
And do the laundry.
You must have sex.
And look after the child.
He hooks up with other women.
You don't.
You bring him beer and water.
He don't give you shit.
He has temper and puts hands on you.
You are meek and mild.
It's not even a relationship, girl. You're just being abused.
You're just being abused. This man is a psychopath and he clearly doesn't care about you or your child. You need to leave this man. You're not in the... It sounds like everything a relationship. No, not even then, because you actually just sound like a maid. Because why are you cooking and cleaning and doing the laundry? And if he's going days without responding, I'm guessing he doesn't live with you. So he's coming to your house and you're doing his laundry and cooking for him.
But like, he's responding to somebody, so there's that. Do you get what I mean? So,
that is insane.
But it's like...
But it happens a lot, No,
it does.
Some women like to romanticize it. Oh, yeah, he keeps coming back. He can't leave me alone, etc. He's in another relationship. So he can leave you alone.
And when he's ready to settle down, he will settle down. He will settle down,
but it won't be you.
And it won't be you.
So this access that you're giving him is not, oh, yeah, he's addicted. No. He's coming to you because you're still giving him access. Set boundaries, sis. Set boundaries.
Also, there's this thing, like, I was having a conversation with my friend where, like, some men will choose situations because it's easy.
Yeah. Not necessarily because they want it, because it's easy. Oh, I need to settle down now because I kind of need someone to cook and clean for me and stuff. So I might as well just settle down with this one because she seems eager and it's easier than me going out and like having to start again. But guarantee that when the woman that they do want comes by, they're cheating. I feel a lot of man
hot and dry. And there's always the saying that like men settle down with the person that's there at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. But if you're not that for them,
yeah,
that will crop up at some point.
It's inevitable.
So
I mean, I won't say it's inevitable. I'm sure some men can suppress it and make the effort to actually make what they've created work. But a lot of men lack discipline.
Saying that, a lot of women do too. Also,
a lot of women do too. And what happens is that when you already lack discipline, and this person comes along, you're less likely to be able to fight that temptation, and more likely to just lean into it. And that's when stuff like cheating happens, etc. But for that woman, please leave him. Set boundaries. He does not love you. He's not going to marry you. There is no right time. Set boundaries.
And also, I don't think he's not in a relationship. You are. That's what it is. You're in a relationship. He's very single. If he's dating other people and you're sharing locations, the energy's not the same. So you're there, but nobody's there with you at home, honey. So
yeah, leave that man.
If you can. I mean, if you can. Obviously, I understand having a child does link you to a person.
Leave him for the sake of your son too. Leave him.
And that's also something that we need to be mindful of. Like, so you don't want I think we've said this before, you don't want your children to see these unhealthy relationships and think that's the way to be.
It's not.
Because they will just suffer in the end.
The cycle will just continue.
Right.
But yeah, our favourite section. Adult finds of the week. So I actually discovered these this week. And they're the true fruit strawberries, white frozen strawberries covered in white and milk chocolate from Waitrose. Incredible.
I've seen them everywhere.
Crack in a packet.
Really?
Amazing. And then I mean, they're too good for me not to say for me to say that they are good for you, because I feel like there's a catch somewhere. But they are amazing. Amazing, honestly. I was snacking on them yesterday, and obviously, it's starting to get warm now. So it's like a nice cold snack. Had a
Okay.
few pieces, and I was just like, all you need is a few pieces. It's quite satiated. But it's absolutely incredible. Chooks was literally gagging at my feet for one. I was like, you can't have this. This will take you out. I know I gave you chicken, but you see this, it's gonna take you out. But it is incredible. I got it from Waitrose. I haven't seen it anywhere else, but it's at Waitrose. I think it's about a fiver. It's a bit spenny, but to be honest, it's worth it. I think these are probably the best chocolate covered strawberries I've had, on par with Costco's one. But Costco only bring them out during Valentine's um day season thing. But yeah, I defo recommend. They also have the dark chocolate and white chocolate version as well. Which I am assuming also bangs. But yeah, lovely stuff.
I've been seeing like American TikTok has a lot of those frozen fruits covered.
Yeah.
And I've been looking, after thinking, where can we get it here? Where can we get it here? So that's really useful because I didn't know they had them in Waitrose.
Yeah,
But I'm
love
gonna get them.
Incredible. Honestly, you'll love them.
Of course I would.
You'll love them.
Mine is Magnum, the ice creams, Euphoria flavor.
Mhm.
So it's like a lemon ice cream with a raspberry sorbet inside in a white chocolate shell with popping candy.
Oh, that's very much you. You just described yourself as an ice cream.
Thank you, baby.
But that does sound good.
It is. It's really nice.
It sounds like an experience.
It is. It is so nice. It's like a pink lemonade, essentially.
Oh
in the
yeah,
ice cream.
because the popping candy will be the fizz. Okay.
It's really
sounds
good.
good.
And so again, it's getting a bit warmer. Not too warm,
Mm.
but it's just.
I mean,
I'm still under my heated blanket, but I'm under my heated blanket eating ice
but
cream.
you like
I'm
hot
anemic.
You like hot.
I'm
things.
anemic.
I started wearing my gilet this week, so spring is here. But that does sound good. But yeah, that brings us to the end of episode 7. I actually can't believe that it's episode 7. It feels like just yesterday with their quivering recording episode 1. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked this episode, please give us a thumbs up. Rate us on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify.
Leave us a comment.
Leave us a comment as well, because we do read all the comments.
And we respond to them.
Yeah, and any suggestions in terms of things that you want us to talk about, feel free to suggest. And also shout out to everyone that has subscribed on YouTube and followed us on Spotify, especially on this week. We've seen like quite a jump. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And hopefully we can continue to serve you daily. Sorry, I'm not on your screen daily.
We're not there. We're not there
Weekly
yet.
dose of banter.
And joy.
And we shall see you next Thursday.
Bye,
Jazz
guys.
hands. Bye. I really need to stop doing the jazz hands, but you're just going to have to take it. It's going to be a thing now. I'm stuck with it, aren't I? Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.